So many of the numbers institutions steer by are actually trailing averages. They're built entirely from the past, meaning they can really only follow what they measure, never lead it. This introduces a structural flaw right into how the world measures itself. Usually, that lag is harmless, but in certain high-stakes systems, it really bites. The harm surfaces so late, and honestly so far from its cause that we failed to trace it back. The cause is long gone by the time things actually go wrong. The work we're looking at takes a very specific shape. It lives as 10 research papers, published with their code, their sealed data, and their verification records. There is a plain English companion for each paper, written so that a curious reader with a blank slate can genuinely understand the research. And it includes a set of dated, public predictions that put the framework's claims on the record well before their outcomes are known. Historical precedents, when complexity outgrows memory. We can actually find historical precedents for building things this way. Early automobiles and aircraft were the objects of master craftsmen. These were machinists who held every single part in their memory. Their machines were exactly as good as their makers. We can find genuine wonder in considering that level of individual mastery. The assembly line completely changed the question. Instead of asking where to find extraordinary people, it asked how to divide the work into steps that ordinary people could do superbly after a short training. Quality didn't fall, it actually rose, because for the first time, every single step could be measured, checked, and fixed. Aviation learned the exact same lesson the hard way. Back in 1935, Boeing's Model 299 crashed on its demonstration flight with one of the Army's most experienced test pilots at the controls. That airplane ultimately became the B-17. The verdict of the day was that it was simply too much airplane for one man to fly. The fix wasn't a better pilot. It was a piece of paper, the pre-flight checklist. This was an admission that when complexity outgrows memory, process must catch what mastery drops. The Aravind Eye Hospitals in India really completed the argument. A retired surgeon decomposed cataract surgery into a repeatable sequence of stations and trained teams to run each one. The result, performed surgery at enormous volume, most of it for patients who pay little or nothing. They achieve measured outcomes that stand comparison with systems many times richer. Breaking the craft into steps didn't cheapen it. It made excellence reproducible, and reproducibility is exactly what made it available.
Decomposing science, a reproducible process. Science may be reaching the exact same point. Its process can be decomposed the exact same way manufacturing and surgery were.
The whole process basically becomes a series of small, teachable, and checkable steps. Questions are registered before answers. Data is sealed and fingerprinted. Code is committed, and every printed number is tied directly to a script that regenerates it. Review is run in isolation, corrections are logged in public, and predictions are strictly dated before their outcomes. With all the steps written down and a capable assistant at every station, AI really changes only the length of the training program. Serious research stops requiring a rare polymath and starts requiring what it should have required all along: curiosity, honesty, and the willingness to be checked.
Transparency by design. Disclosures as design facts. Transparency by design requires delivering those disclosures plainly, treating them as design facts. Two things about this work are stated completely plainly right up front rather than discovered later.
First, the research leaned heavily on AI. The authors set the questions and made the decisions on record, while an AI system drafted the code, the experiments, and the prose under that direction. Each paper's pre-publication review was itself performed by an AI in an isolated, sealed package session. Second, the author holds zero credentials in economics or mathematics. Both of those facts are exactly why the verification machinery exists in the first place. Every claim is published with the code and data to check it, every paper carries a public corrections log, and the predictions page keeps score in the open. Experts are genuinely invited to test the claims and report what breaks. Peer review asks whether a few busy experts find a result credible. This is a very reasonable way to ration scarce attention and is considered a respected process rather than an enemy of this project. Replication and forward prediction ask a harder question that anyone can grade, which is whether the world agrees. The standard here scales to everyone.
An alternative publishing model. The Aravind arrangement. The choice of standard changes who gets to look. Most people assume published science is publicly available, but mostly it isn't. The standard arrangement uses public funds through taxes, scientists give their papers to journals for free, and other scientists review them for free. The finished work is then sold back to university libraries at heavy subscription prices and to everyone else at tens of dollars per article.
The newer open access model often just moves the toll booth.
readers gain access without paying, but authors pay thousands per article to publish, pricing out precisely the independent and unfunded researchers the change was meant to include. The research here operates on the Aravind arrangement, which was adopted deliberately. The research is free by construction, permanently. That includes the papers, the code, the data recipes, the predictions, and the mistakes. Applications built on the research may someday carry a price, but the research itself never will.
Whether work built this way can produce science worth trusting is itself a claim of the falsifiable kind. This site is one run of the experiment, conducted in public. The gates are published, the errors are logged where anyone can read them, and the predictions carry dates. Grade it.